Caesar! 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 Caesar!
Calpurnia! Calpurnia!
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius' way when he doth run his course. Antonius,
Yes, Caesar.
forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia. For our elders say the baron, when touched in his holy chase, shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember that when Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Set on and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar!
Ha! Who calls? Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a voice truer than all the music cry Caesar. Speak, Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the eyes of Mark.
What man is that?
Soothsayer bids beware the eyes of Mark.
Set him before me. Let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng. Look upon Caesar.
What sayest thou to me now? Say it once again.
Beware the eyes of March.
He is a dreamer. Let us leave him. Fast.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not I.
Well, pray you do.
I'm not gamesome. I do like some part of that quick spirit, doesn't it, Antony? Let me not hinder Cassie's your desires. I'll leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you now of late. I have not from your eyes that gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubborn and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the troll of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am, of late, with passions of some different. Let not therefore my good friends be grieved, among which number, Cassius, be you one. Nor consider any further my neglects, and the poor old Brutus himself at war forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, good Brutus, I have much mistook your passion. Tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius. For the
Eye sees not itself, but by reflection of some other things. 'Tis just, and it is very much lamented that you have no hidden mirrors that will turn your hidden worthies from your eye. I have heard many, except immortal Caesar, speaking of Brutus, and groaning under this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
What danger would you lead me, Cassius, that you'd have me seek into myself that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear, and since you know you cannot see so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you don't know yet not of. Be not jealous, Brutus, were I a common laugher, or if you do know that I fawn on men and hug them hard, then after scandal them, then comes the dangers.
What means this shouting? I do fear that people choose Caesar for their king.
Do you fear it? Then must I think you would not have it so.
I would not, Cassius, yet I love him well. Wherefore do you hold me here so long?
I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well and could both endure the winter's cold as well as he. For once upon a raw and gusty day, the troubled Tiber chafing with their shores, Caesar said to me, "Darest thou, Cassius, leap with me into this angry flood and swim to yonder point?" I plunged in and bade him follow, but ere could we reach the point proposed, when he cried, "Help me, Cassius, or I sink!" I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy the old Anchises bear, so from the waves of Tiber did I, the tired Caesar. And this man is now become a god. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and that same eye whose bend on all the world did lose his luster. I did hear him groan, aye, and that tongue of his that bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in their books. Alas, it cried, "Give me some drink, Antonius," as a sick girl. Gods, it doth amaze me that a man of such feeble temper should so get the start of a majestic world, and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do fear people choose Caesar for their king. I fear for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
And why should that name be sounded more than yours?
We have said I will consider. What you have to say, I'll find time both me to hear and answer such high things. Till then, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome as these hard times are like to lay upon us.
I'm glad that my weak words have struck but thus much show of fire from Brutus.
Games are done and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, Plug Casca by the sleeve. He will, after his sour fashion, tell you what hath proceeded worthy know today.
I will do so. But look you, Cassius. The angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a shitting train. Calpurnia's cheek is pale. Cicero looks with such bearing, such fiery eyes, as though he's been crossing the Capitol like some senator.
Antony,
Yes, Caesar?
let me have men about me that are fat, sleep-headed men, such as sleep tonight. Young Cassius has a mean and hungry look. Such men are dangerous.
Fear him not, Caesar. He is not dangerous, for he is a noble Roman, and well given.
Would he were fatter. I do not know the man I should so soon avoid as that spare Cassius. He reads much. He is a great observer. He looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays as thou dost, Antony. Seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a sort as if he mocked himself and scorned his spirit, that can be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be never at heart's ease, while they are beholding a greater than themselves, and thus are they very dangerous. I rather tell thee what is to be feared than what I do. For always I am Caesar.
You plucked me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Hi, Casca. Tell us what hath chanced today that Caesar looks so sad.
Why? You were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why? There was a crown offered him. And being it offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand thus. And then the people fell shouting.
What was the second noise for?
Why, for that too.
They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for?
Why, for that too.
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Aye, merry was it, and thrice he put it by, each time gentler than the other. And at every putting by, mine honest neighbor shouted.
Who offered him the crown?
Why, Antony.
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. I saw Mark Antony offer him a crown, yet 'twas not a crown neither. 'Twas one of these coronets. And, as I told you, he put it by once. But, for all that, to my thinking he would fain have had it. Then he offered it to him again, and he put it by again. But, to my thinking, he was loath to lay his fingers off it. Then he offered it to him a third time, and he put it by a third time, and still as he refused it, the rabblement hooted and clapped their chapped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps, and uttered such a great deal of stinking breath because Caesar had refused the crown, that they had nearly choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down. And, for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air.
What, did Caesar swoon?
He fell down in the marketplace, foamed at the mouth, and was speechless.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Mary, before he fainted, when he saw the common herd was glad that he refused the crown, he plucked me ope his doublet and offered them his throat to cut. When he had come to himself, he said that if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 good wenches where I stood cried out, "Alas, poor soul!" and forgave him with all their hearts, but there's no heed to be taken of that. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that he came, thus set away.
I,
Did Cicero say anything?
he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
And I tell you that, I'll ne'er look you in the face again. Those who understood him smiled at one another and shook their heads, but for mine own part, it was Greek to me. There's other news I can tell you too. Marulus and Flavius were pulling scarves off Caesar's images and put to silence. Fare you well. There's more foolery I could tell you if I could but remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Casco?
Nay, I am promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I still be alive, and your mind hold, and the dinner be worth the eating.
Good. I will expect you.
Do so. Farewell, Bill.
What a blunt fellow this grown to be. He was a quick mellow and went to school.
So is he now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise? However, he puts on this tardy form.
So it is. For this time I'll leave you. Tomorrow, if you please to speak to me. Wait for me and I'll come to you. Or, if you will, come home to me. I'll wait for you.
I'll do so. Till then, think of the world.